Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kanita Renee and I make videos helping you reach your goal without stress, debt, or losing sight of yourself. And today I'm doing a highly requested video, which is how to move to Los Angeles. I moved completely across the country and I'm going to tell you guys how I did it right now. Okay, the first thing we did was plan everything completely out. I mean, are we going to drive? Are you going to fly? What exactly you're going to take with you? We planned out every detail of this trip. So the way that we did it is we set a little bit of money to the side at a time in order to cover like the hotel. So we took two cars. I had a car, my husband had a car, and I was in one, and I had my baby with me, and my best friend and my mom were with me. And then he was in the car, and he actually had all of our belongings, everything we brought, in like one of those U-Haul trailers to the back of his car. And the way we did it was we tallied up the total. There is a website that you can use. I don't really remember the name of it. So if you just Google like gas mileage to get from here to here, it'll give you like an estimate of how much the gas will cost across the country, and then how many miles it'll take you to get, which will give you how much money you will need to get the cars where you need them to be. And I think it came out to something like $175 a vehicle or something like that. And we ended up, we would put that money to the side. He would get one check, we would set aside 1 day of gas. He would get another check, we would set aside, okay, this is the first hotel we're going to stay in, let's go ahead and book it. Then he would get another check and we would say, okay, let's book the second hotel that we're going to stay in, because it actually took us 3 days and 3 hotel stays. So we bought the hotels one at a time. We set aside our gas money a little bit at a time, and then we also tallied up how much it would cost us to eat for the cross-country trip and all of that. And we wanted to make sure nothing hit us by surprise. So we definitely planned everything out like to the T. Everybody had an allowance. I was like, okay, it would take about $9 a meal, so that's $27 a day per person, and that's how we did it. And because we didn't want to burden the people who were helping us drive cross country, and so we made sure that we included that in our expenses. I would say, just to be on the safe side, save between $5,000 and $10,000 to make it across country if that's how you're traveling, because we did also need to buy first and last month's rent, and you have to pay for the U-Haul trucks and all of those things. But if you're somebody who's just, you know, you're just packing all of your belongings up in a car and you don't plan on paying for storage or anything like that, then you can get away with saving a little bit less, because you don't need that overhead, and you'll probably only pay between like $400 and $600 to rent a room or a bed from somebody. You won't need as much money saved. But if you are having your own place, if you're a family, if you're a couple, if you're somebody who doesn't have that option of getting a roommate, then you definitely want to save up. And one smart trick that helped us is use your tax refund. If you're somebody who knows that you're going to get a refund for your taxes and you usually just kind of blow it, set that money to the side and let that be your travel money, because you know it's going to be there. You know it's a large amount of money. You don't have to deal with the kind of discouragement or tax sickness of saving up over time. You're like, I'm getting this large sum of money. I know, boom, at the end of April, I'm going to have X, Y amount of dollars. This is what I'm going to use. I'm going to schedule everything around this. And that, I think, will work out perfectly if you're somebody who really tends to waste your tax refund, or just haven't decided what to do with it and don't really need it for emergencies. Next thing I would suggest doing is check your rental history, because we hit a few surprises. We actually had a issue that said we were evicted, which was not even true, and that we owed some complex from back in 2013, which we didn't even know was on our rental history, and it doesn't show up on your credit history. So these are two different things. So you want to make sure you check your rental history, make sure that nothing's on there that's not supposed to be on there. If it is, make sure you get it disputed and taken off. Find out how to do that, just so you're not hit with any surprises like we were, because it really limited us in what we could take, because we had to essentially just transfer over, and we had to stay in the management company that we were with, because it was just a headache trying to get new management companies to take us on with these marks on our rental history, because we couldn't disprove them. So you definitely want to make sure there is nothing on your rental history, no judgments, no anything. The next thing we did was research neighborhoods to find out which neighborhoods were the best. You can use a website called niche.com. I will put it on the screen just so you guys can see what it looks like. It really gives you really in-depth, like all of the demographics, like as far as like the education of the people who work there, the average income, like median household income, or like median house costs and all of that. They tell you like the vibe of the neighborhood, and the people get in and they give really in-depth reviews about, you know, if there is a farmer's market here, if it's very family or kid friendly, how the schools are. It's a really good website. I found that very helpful when we were researching neighborhoods. I wouldn't, like, if you're somebody who is married and you have kids and you have like a really different set of priorities that you have to consider, then I wouldn't necessarily check the websites that tend to focus on like young people and millennials and singles and nightlife and all that kind of stuff. So take everything with a grain of salt and realize that one person could really be hyping something up because their priorities are very different from yours. And so for them, it would be an A1 place. For you, not so great. So check out that website. It's a really good website. Yelp everything. We Yelped all of the apartments we looked at. And there were so many apartments we were just like, nope, 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 because they had roaches, or they had terrible management, or like people's rent was disappearing and they weren't keeping track of who paid what. And it was just crazy. Like, I believe in staying on top of my, you know, rent anyway, and I always get a receipt. But some of those places, they were just padding on charges onto their rent, and those kind of issues you won't find on like regular Google reviews. Yelp lets you have it. Like, people really go in on Yelp, and they're gonna tell you like every little thing about the complex, and you'll be surprised. But even with one community we thought was really nice, it was in our price range, and then we found out that they had this non-stop alarm system that was going off, and we had that issue when we were living in Vegas. The alarm just would go off randomly, and it would go off for hours, and it was like they just couldn't get it fixed. And it's an inconvenience, but it's not like something that would like put you in danger or anything. But nobody wants to live like that, and it gets bad because you don't know when it's real, and people stop responding to it. They stop leaving, they stop evacuating, and God forbid there had been a real fire, who would have been in trouble. The next thing I would say is to have a job lined up and live near your work, because when people talk about the traffic, I don't think it's like the difference is traffic isn't dangerous. I want to make this distinction. Like, some places you go, people can't drive, and you feel like, oh my God, an accident is going to happen any moment. Why are people driving so crazy? Traffic isn't crazy. It's just a lot of people trying to go one way. And I found out traffic tends to open up when there's not like a space to merge. So traffic really only dies down when everybody is trying to get on or off the interstate. Other than that, it really does open up, and the traffic really isn't that bad. But everything is so spread out, so it will take you quite a bit of time to get where you're going. So it definitely helps to be by your job. You don't want to be like, oh, I just really love Sherman Oaks, and you work in like downtown LA, or you work like way on the other side somewhere. Like, you want to be near where you work, because it will make a difference, because it'll get old to you very, very fast. And the next thing is, I would say, to make friends and connections while you're here, and even before you arrive. So I use this app called Meetup, and they literally have like all different kinds of topics. So you can meet up with people as far as entertainment. I'm in a group called Brainy Brown Kids, who are really nerdy or into like different things, into science or stuff like that. So there really is a broad like range of things that you can get into. You can meet people if you would just put yourself out there. I know it's really hard to do that sometimes, because we get in our little modes or zones where we just want to be comfortable, and sometimes getting out meeting new people isn't so comfortable, but it's definitely worth it, because I see a lot of people get on YouTube and they say that they're lonely and they're by themselves, and it feels really isolating being out here, and it does not have to. There are so many avenues where you can meet people and get out there and network and just have a good time. The final thing is this Facebook group called Moving to Los Angeles. Her name is Erica Patterson. This one Facebook group is a wealth of information. She has pinned posts. She tells you where to go to get work. She tells you how to find temporary work. She tells you where temporary housing is. There's so many people in the group. All the admins are very helpful. They're very encouraging. Everybody's encouraging and inspiring one another. And people are saying like, hey, I have a free room here, or I have this, or who wants that? And they're really teaming up, and it's a really, really valuable resource. And so I would say if you're moving out here to join that Facebook group, I will leave it linked down below so that you guys can join and find out all about that. And if you are moving across the country, if you are coming to LA to pursue your dreams, I wish you honestly the very, very, very best. I'm always inspired by dreamers, always inspired by people who are just like getting up and going for it. And so I am just rooting for you. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below letting me know when you're coming out here and what it is you plan on doing. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.